Beginning with the end in mind, let's go ahead and start making these symmetrical African masks. Now to begin this project, begin by folding your paper in half. On the fold line, draw half of your mask, include headgear, and please draw big. So again, notice where the fold line is. It has to be on the fold line as you do your drawing. Double check that, make sure that you got that correct as you begin drawing. Since it's a mask shape, I can add on my own creative lines, shapes, and designs onto the facial part of the mask. But don't just stop with the facial part of the mask, but also please add on headgear, the pieces that extend beyond the outside of the facial designs. Okay, so there we go. We've got step number 1, folding my paper in half and drawing half of my African mask. This is a really cool way to make it symmetrical, the same on both sides. So once I've drawn it in pencil, you'll notice I'm taking my black crayon or black oil pastel and outlining over top of my pencil work. This allows me to see it a lot better, and if I do any erasing, that doesn't get noticed as easily if you don't outline it. So let's go ahead now, and the black crayon is on the inside, and let's do our transferring, creating the waxy black crayon line and marking it up so that it's on the opposite side of the page. If you can see it well enough on the opposite side, now go back go over it with your black crayon, pressing down hard to ensure that everyone can see your symmetrically balanced mask. If you don't see some of your pencil lines, your black crayon lines transferring to the other side, you might need to go back to transferring it again. You want it to be symmetrical. Please outline when you are done. Okay, let's go into step number 3 then, color with crayon. You'll notice when I take my crayons, I want to color in thick, leaving little to no white. Totally okay if some of the black crayon starts to smear or smudge in with my color, because we're going to age these masks here soon. Okay, let me go ahead and show a little bit of a non-example. When I take my crayons, I'm coloring very light pressure right now. Such light pressure that there's so much white areas left in my mask. So this is an area where I colored lightly. On the opposite side, I am coloring the same crayon with a lot more pressure. I want my crayon lines to be nice and dark and filling in the open white spaces. This is much more of an example of what I want to see as you begin your work. All right, going back into our crayon work, I sped up the video quite a bit so that we can see a little bit more about what we're going to be doing today. The other thing that I wanted to notice as the crayon is getting filled in, as I sped it up, is that remember our lines and shapes, they were symmetrical. We folded it over and made it go to the other side. Let's do that with our crayons too. When you color in one side yellow, please do the other side with yellow. When you color one side in with orange, do the other side with orange. I also took a white crayon for any areas that I want to remain white. So if you have a section on your project that you would like to keep white, I just grabbed a white crayon and I filled that in with white as well. Now that I have my project completely full of color, little to no white, in any areas I want white, I wanted to use a crayon on, I took some black paint and some water. And I'm just going to test it just a little bit right here. The black paint has water in it, and it's working nicely. Okay, good. So I'm just going to go ahead and continue painting the whole entire page, covering over the entire process of my mask. Because it has water in it, you can probably still see some areas of your mask. Now, using this crumpled up towel, the brown towels that we wipe our hands with when they're clean, I will use this to create a very nice texture in my work. So dabbing it off, creates a really cool crinkle design into my project, and it fills in any areas that were white by my crayon. It ages the mask a little bit and gives it more of an older appearance. I'm going to go ahead and cut out my mask next, and you notice I cut off the designs. Let me show you how I'm going to fix that. Okay, I went ahead and I grabbed a colored piece of paper to glue that down to, and then I just redrew some of those areas that were hard to cut out. I just went ahead and I put on some add-ons that were symmetrical also. You could use feathers, oil pastel, raffia, buttons, decorative paper, yarn. The choice is up to you. But as you can see, I love this finished project. I love the different materials. I love the different textures. And I just think it turned out really cool with all the cool things that you can add to it.